Hello friends, pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life, bringing you my daily diary for the Labor Day weekend, Saturday, September 2nd, Sunday the 3rd, and Monday, September 4th of 2023. What did I do? So on Saturday morning, the day started in Mobile, Alabama, where I was for the CareNet conference the previous several days. So I had a 6 a.m. flight from Mobile to Atlanta and then Atlanta to Orlando. I did work on the plane regarding various email tasks and upcoming travel plans, a pastoral team schedule for our upcoming meeting, the online school that I'm part of with Catholic Online, the battles in Ohio, the upcoming National Day of Remembrance, and communication with our media consultants. All of that, and got to Orlando, continued working in the car on the way back to the office. Had landed at 11 a.m. Got back to the office, unpacked, settled into the office, took a look at paperwork at my desk that had accumulated over the recent days, and delivered some items to staff, and began coming here in the studio for what was a very solid weekend of taping. There was a lot of taping I needed to do in anticipation of programs that have to air while I'm not here in the studio and back out on the road as I was getting ready to do once again. After some initial desk work and preparations and catching up, I went downtown to the CVS, had to pick up some things. Came back here, came into the TV studio and taped a bunch of programs, including the Scripture Reflections in Times of Prayer that we air every day at 10 a.m. That, as well as preparation for other broadcasts coming up, as well as finalization of some detailed planning for the month of September, took me through the afternoon and into the evening, when I also signed a whole array of birthday cards, and these are for donors and bishops, and ordination anniversary cards as well. Had a conversation later in the evening over the phone to catch up with our executive director and make some plans for the coming days. On Sunday, September the 3rd, it was a day here in the office, of course, the Lord's Day, prayer, worship, and so forth, but had to do a little bit of email work having to do with some upcoming meetings, some communication about public policy to some of our colleagues, and also to our website department, some information about links on certain web pages. But other than that, I had the live scripture broadcast at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, which I did from here in the studio, and then continued taping more scripture presentations for later in the week. So that took me through the entire morning and into the afternoon. For lunch, I go to a nearby restaurant that's right on the Indian River, usually on Sundays when I'm not traveling, and I do it right at noon, and I listen to the podcast, the radio show, I should say, of Dick Morris, who's a key political commentator, always has informative things to say. Came back here, came right back into the studio and continued taping. One of the things I taped on Sunday also is a talk I'm giving for the International Week of Prayer and Fasting. That is a key Catholic event each year that I've been involved in from the beginning, praying for an end to abortion and for other aspects of the culture of life. So I taped that 45-minute talk about the Eucharist and pro-life. I also taped an upcoming seminar for clergy. So every month we have our Good Shepherd project, as we call it, where we give a training on some aspect of the clergy and their role in pro-life. So I taped that segment, since again I'll be traveling later in the week. And then I had some further communication with some of our administrative team and various desk work and planning of the coming week's activities. That was Sunday the 3rd. And then finally, Monday the 4th was Labor Day. And I was here at the office, a quiet day, staff was not in. I had a lot of taping to do still, so I came here in the studio and I began taping some programs for our evening broadcasts, Praying for America. So sometime at my desk preparing the material, then coming in here to the studio to tape the material. I also had the live broadcast on Monday the 4th at 10 a.m. for the scripture reflection. Came back in after lunch, taped more programs. I had to finish the detailed planning of the rest of September, including the details of the various trips that I am taking. I also wrote 2 columns and did that writing at my desk and prepared those articles for publication during the course of the week. Signed some cards as well, and checked in, had to do on my email some work regarding promotion of upcoming trips, preparation for the regular Zoom call that we will have of the regional coordinators for our Silent No More campaign. A little bit of communication in regard to this International Week of Prayer and Fasting. Communication with Alveda King regarding the placement of one of her articles and scheduling an interview for her as well, connecting her with an outlet that wants to interview her, and then finally arranging for some media interviews of my own. Those were some of the work on my email. So that was Monday, September 4th. So that's my daily diary for these 3 days. Hope your days are going well in full worship of the Lord and advancing of His kingdom of life. You're in my prayers. Thank you for yours. And let's continue winning the battle of life together.